Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for June 2025 for each life path number to see how these energies could present for you in the month that follows. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like your own personal numerology forecast or reading, please book some time with me. My information's in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at June. Life path number 6, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 12-3 this month. And so this is a time that can feel almost like a waiting period, like the brakes are being put on, you've hit the red light. This is time to stop, look, and listen, and to take note of your surroundings, how you feel, your environment. This is a quiet pause in your life, or it can be, or it's asking to be, where you should really spend the time thinking, learning, and seeing things as they really are, and not as they necessarily appear. So there's a lot here about being very present and seeing below the surface layer, seeing below the superficial. And it's interesting because you'll probably have an opportunity this month to recognize the polarities that are likely happening, recognize where maybe your perspective has been off, or maybe you've misjudged something. Maybe you were taking things at face value and that didn't feel so good. And so this month, you're being asked to slow things down and to find that greater balance and harmony from within that will then be reflected from without. So this is such a great month if you can find the time, and of course you can, you just have to make it a priority, to self-soothe, for self-care, finding the tools that might help you to come back to you and understanding what it is that you need at this time in order to find greater sort of holistic balance within your life. Beautiful month for listening to your body or your spirit. And what is it that you need? What is it that you need to feel safe and secure and in balance? And this would be a great month for seeking assistance, for seeking therapy, or if you have a health concern, this is a great month to address that concern, see a medical professional and have things looked at. Make you and your health and your holistic health a priority this month. And that's really what this energy is asking you to do. And it's interesting because, if your world feels like it's sort of in a bit of disharmony, then this energy helps you to recognize the pieces of the puzzle that will bring things back into harmony. And that might require a change of perspective. That might require change in actions or change in behaviors. That once you recognize that, your behaviors need to change, or again, your perspective needs some adjustment, then you can do it, right? So this is definitely a time where if you're moving too fast, if you're not present and you're too in the future or too in the past, you will miss the opportunities to make these possibly minor adjustments, possibly major adjustments that can really help to bring your world, your personal world, your internal world into greater balance. And once our internal world is in greater balance, our external world gets into greater balance. And the way that we experience the external world comes into greater balance. So any opportunity you have to come back to the present, slow down, find your ways to self-soothe, honor your need for self-care, and honor your need for relaxation or rejuvenation, it is really going to serve you well, especially in the months that follow. You could find that the universe sort of conspires to allow you to do that this month. So you might find that, your affairs sort of just, as if by magic, seem to take care of themselves now. Not a lot externally needs your attention. Your attention is now focused more inwards to create the space for you to come back home to yourself and see what's out of order and what needs your assistance and some TLC, some extra loving care. You could find that some situations this month come to a head and need your attention, but I think you'll find that they get settled pretty quickly. And, this isn't necessarily a month where I would say make big decisions, make life-altering decisions. This is a time where you might want to put the decision-making on halt for a little bit, if you can do that. And let the cycle work out the way that it needs to. Let the cycle work for you. This is a time for observing and reflecting and meditating, if that's something you do, or going into nature, just slowing things down. Take things step by step, breathe through each step, be very present as much as possible, and find the serenity that's being offered to you through this vibration of this energy. Because it can be a very healing cycle if you allow it to be. Now, if you bypass this energy and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, I think what you'll find is that the universe or your soul will step in and create some kind of situation where you are forced to slow down. And so I would say take the invitation of this energy so that you don't need to take the intervention of this energy. This can also bring in, some you might find that there's some conflicts that might come up at this time with friends or in like work situations, etc., where people might not understand your need for slowing down a little bit. But you're going to have to fight those forces and stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, and ask for what it is that you need, and then honor that. And, I would say definitely with this energy, it's that kind of cycle where it's like, focus on what you can change, embrace that, right? And release what you can't change. Don't put all your energy there. And it's interesting because I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all, and you got bear energy. And it's interesting because just based on the energy that you're working with the 12-3, with bear energy coming through, the first thing that came up was hibernation. And so again, this is a time for you all for rest, for rejuvenation, for slowing down, for honoring that need for stillness, for honoring that need for more receptivity. Like, let people come to you, let people do for you, ask for the support that you need, and then, honor that, accept it. But with bear energy coming through, again, honor that slowness, like the bears don't fight their need for hibernation. Every year, they know exactly when they need to start preparing. They know exactly when they need to go into their dens, and they know exactly when they need to slow down. They don't fight it. Could you imagine the bear fighting nature and, hustling through their period of hibernation? Oh my gosh, that just doesn't happen. With humans, it happens. And, we also go through cycles where we need to slow down and breathe and come back to the present. And and so you all are kind of in that at this time. And it's what you choose to do with it that'll make the difference, of course. But try not to fight it. Try not to fight it. Because again, you're getting the invitation. So I would say accept the invitation so you don't have to deal with the intervention, because that won't be as much fun. So wish you all the best. Take care. Bye for now.